let's see. Do you have any other questions? I have some compliments from Walter. um, Leah, as academics, sometimes we sort of ignore the fact that businesses sometimes need to make money. Right. Is there a business plan for Earsketch that involves eventually extorting money from teachers or anything?
It's funny that you're saying this because I spent my summer meeting with people to try to find a business plan for Earsketch. So I met with 135 people, and the solution is not to make the teachers pay, apparently. And it's not even in accordance with the ideas that we have in the Earsketch team. So it was never a very strong hypothesis for us. We're thinking about maybe either going as a nonprofit organization or maybe selling electronic devices that could be used with Earsketch to parents. So, the kids do Earsketch at school and then they go back home. Maybe they want to play with like a mini keyboard or something that we could sell.
Okay, thanks.
So can we imagine ways students can use data sonification in the class? Yeah, so so unfortunately Judy left, but we have a sonification laboratory. And so I know one of the things they did was also, so I guess if you're in a biology class, they did a solar system sonification. So like Judy said, it doesn't need to be only with the pitch, it can also be like the density of your song with the rhythm. And so they had different representations. So for example, for each planet, they had a sound, which would depend on the size of the planet and its composition. So I guess you could do a lot of things in biology, which is also what she presented, but yeah. So I guess you can use existing code like the one she presented and then ask the students to just fill in the data.
I'm not a panelist, but I can also imagine some of that being really interesting in an information school where the focus is on like, how do you present data clearly? And people could explore sonification and really toy with those parameters that Judy was talking about, and what is clear and what is not clear, where it almost doesn't matter the exact data set, the source of the data, so much as like good and bad sonification maybe. Also, feel free to ask each other questions if
right.
ideas came to you. That would be welcome.
Yeah, so JD, how many songs have you written?
I only have like a dozen. I think I only have a dozen.
Okay.
A couple more than that. I thought I was doing good, but I realized I'm relatively a rookie. Some of the people yesterday looked like they had dozens, right? Like in the 50 or 60. But it is an ongoing project, and it's kind of nice to find I'm not alone. After this conference, this video conference came up, the education conference that I go to each year, somebody contacted me about a panel doing computational composing. So one of them was Steve Wolfman at University of British Columbia, and a couple others who do this kind of thing to just find alternatives to engage people is kind of neat. I going back and forth with Walter Smith in the text. It's sometimes the best songs have been the easiest ones. It's kind of really weird. Like the recursion song we could do right now. It just was taking my kids around the campus and singing this little recursive ditty to the sound of "It's Raining, It's Pouring." Same with "Stuck in an Infinite Loop." They just kind of write themselves. I would suspect that happens. Like I would be curious to talk to the people yesterday at Kutztown who were doing the songs for something with biology and reproduction and stuff. They were annotating it. That's the thing I learned from that. I think it would be useful to take the lyrics that I have while I'm singing it, and if I could time it right so that it would annotate itself, or have a foot pedal or something they were suggesting, so I could play the song, but they could see this is the concept I'm talking about that I want you to get out of this. So I have, it's a small, if I can put up, there's a little, I'm working on my whole, our websites are always working. We're always trying to get them working. So somewhere I have on one of these screens, I have to be careful which one has the computational singing. It's out here on my website. So I'm going to find it as quick as I can to see where it is. There it is. So there's the list. Hopefully some of them, it's going to grow. Hopefully it'll grow more. In fact, it's so new, I didn't even get a chance to put out the data sonification one yet. So the lyrics are out there. I just have to upload it and such. So these are the basic ones. It used to be more extensive, but the college moved our website, so I lost some of the recordings. So I have to go out and either find them or re-record them. And like I said, I had heard of Ikkache before. So I know that they've been using it to teach computer science. We're always looking for ways to engage people early to get over the hump of just thinking about coding. So do you have any report, Leah, about like what's the groups, the youngest people, what are the demographics of people that you're trying to target with Ikkache?
So the places where it's used the most is high school, but it's been used for kids as young as elementary, but it's a little complicated for elementary kids.
Right.
But if they're motivated, that works.
Right. Right.
And I see there's a question here. The example you showed was simple, but can you teach more sophisticated programming? Yeah, so you can use pretty much anything in Python. So you can use loops, conditionals, functions, start talking about abstractions, arrays, of course, and another, sorry, yeah, so you can do these things, then you can do classes inside one script, so just like functions types of things. But yeah, so you can go a little further than what I showed. Did you have, so is it Walter? Is there a particular thing that you wanted to show or something?
I think he's after, can you do recursion or something like that? Could you?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It would seem.
Yeah, how about, okay.
All right, I think we have time for one more question. Oh, I guess I'll just ask it since I once again have the mic. So JD, you showed us your computational songs page. At one point in the summer, I said, you know, oh, here we go.
Jared said.
Let's go with Jared's question. Can I get a basic wrap-up of what you guys are talking about? So if you can recap very concisely, let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay, so I talked about Ikkache, which is a tool to teach computer science with music, and I showed a little bit how it worked. It's an introduction to Python and JavaScript, and this, when you code in the code editor, each line will help contribute to your song, so you can move sounds into an audio workstation and add effects and things like that. And then we moved to Judy, who's not here anymore. She talked about sonification of data. So when you have some data, like she used the example of the surface of ice in the Arctic area, so it's reducing every year. And so you can link it to some musical ideas like pitch, and so you can hear actually the surface decrease in size. And then John, I'll let you. Okay,
sure.
yeah.
So at Haverford, and we've been trying to get the students engaged off of the computer as well as on the computer. So we have them write programs, but I also will play songs for them and invite them to contribute. Do they get the concept? And many are up to the challenge of trying to contribute. And we usually do parodies of songs that already exist, people may already know, and we try and write new lyrics to demonstrate we understand the concepts. And lately I've been trying to use the music itself to demonstrate things like loops and recursion and even parallel processing and pipelining. And what I'm looking for in the future, the big challenge is trying to have the lyrics contain the algorithm itself. So I have links on the slides. I even put, since I use Google Slides, so it seems to only accept PowerPoint. So I've sent PDFs, but there's hopefully if you get the PDF, I put the full link that you can scrape off the PDF to get to the PowerPoint slides itself, and then you can get to the links that I'm using throughout the presentation. Because the latest one is to try and put lyrics for the algorithm into the lyrics of the song. And that's going to be a challenge, especially for existing songs. Okay. And I think our theme for the whole thing was sonification. So you did sonification, Leah, and Judy's was all about sonification. It was really cool. And I'm trying to write songs about the concepts that I discovered in sonification.
Okay, and that is the time we have. So thanks to both of you, and of course to Judy.